Welcome to Hot Topics. Today we're diving into the powerful world of podcasting. She's launched a couple of shows. I'm launching a show. We have a show. We have a podcast. And if you're wondering how it all works and how podcasting can skyrocket your brand in 2025, you are in the right place. All right, welcome back. Hey. We are talking all things podcasting. Faye, you've launched a couple of shows recently. I feel like we've done a little bit on the down low. We haven't really put it out in a big way, but we want to tell you today about what the shows look like, how we're doing it, so how she's recording it, what that looks like in regards to the podcasting world, what that looks like in regards to the video world, and how it relates to social media. So first off, why did you start two shows as opposed to just one? Because I think a lot of people are out there going, well, I want to start a show. Right. I want to start a podcast. And we all know it's very easy today to do it. But what was the strategy behind that?
Well, I mean, I think the two things that I really thought about while we were doing it, one is that go ahead and start messy. Right? It's okay if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know exactly what you want it to look like, and what equipment you're going to use and what do the visuals look like. Are you going to do video? Are you going to do audio? So I didn't worry about it so much, right? And I didn't really tell my producer too much. I just said, hey, we're going to do this. And then obviously the other one was really, which is why I did these ones. It's a great time to really start in a very micro niche, and not just, a little bit, but I mean, I started doing the Ultimate Life Reset. We've been doing this course for a while. Part of it is our morning routines. And what I recognized was there was so much feedback that people were just looking for what they could do in the morning, right? That they could start off their day, they could reset themselves. So we started, I said, let's do a Sunday morning club, and that's 7 a.m. every Sunday. And it's really for people that are burnt out. They want to somehow get reset before their morning coffee. And so that's what we do. So we do meditation, journaling, manifestation. We take a topic every week and we do that. And so that was just targeted at a very tiny niche of people that want to reset themselves for every week on a Sunday.
Well, it was interesting just before you talk about your second show, it was interesting because we were having conversations about the setup.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get lost in what they can do. Because we started, as with us, we went down a couple of rabbit holes with that one, right? It's like, oh, well, we could put a mic in front of you, and what does the background look like? And we knew we knew that she was going to do it on video. It wasn't just going to be an audio experience. It was going to be both.
Right.
So what does that background look like? And she knew where she wanted to sit. But what does that look like in regards to going live? What does that look like in regards to, just like recording it?
Yeah. So
the visuals, the audio, the equipment, I think is what was holding you back from starting in the beginning, and it holds a lot of people back.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I said start messy.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about anything. Just do what you can. You can always delete your stuff. If you don't like it, take it down, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, right? They do a couple of episodes and then they go, oh, I'm going to switch direction. And then they take those away. I didn't do that. I don't care. I just go, all right, we're going to start. So I treated it like I would treat anyone that I was teaching live. So I literally just put my yoga mat in front of my fireplace because the lighting is good there. That's the only reason.
And it looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
And I literally put my laptop on. I have a little, printer stand with wheels. You haven't even seen it. Printer stand with wheels. And I wheel it because I'm lazy.
I mentioned it's 7 a.m. No. I said, you're going to have to do this one on your own.
So I literally wheel it in front of me, right? So I have my webcam. That's all I'm using. I'm not using a fancy, camera or anything. I'm using my webcam, my laptop, which everyone already has, right? And I wheel it over.
And what about your audio? Because that was the other conversation we
had.
That was the catch because she needed to be further back because she wanted to. I think the first one you were really close. And you wanted to do, again, so you needed to see more of you, which means you need to be further away from your camera.
Yeah. So the first one we used a regular USB mic, and it didn't pick up the sound very well, and I couldn't move. So I had to literally stay right here.
Yeah.
So I literally bought a lapel mic, a lavalier, but I bought it so that it actually has three plugs in it, and it plugs into your phone or your laptop or something else that I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and it was from Amazon, and I think it was $14. Maybe it was $14, but it's great. So you literally just plug it into your laptop, put your lapel mic there. I shouldn't say lapel anymore because nobody uses that word.
Yeah,
like
wireless clip. Yeah, I don't know. You know what it's
and
called.
Back in the day, they were lapels.
Yeah, exactly. Clip on.
And it worked great, right?
The
sound was fantastic. Yeah. So, and like I said, it was $14 or maybe less. It could have been, because I'm always looking for coupons. So it could have been $10. I can't remember.
It was very inexpensive considering the amount of money that people invest into, the cameras, into the mics, all of that kind of stuff. You don't need all of that. It's just get something basic, and done is better than perfect. Yeah. And the sound is great.
And I put one light behind me. You can use any lights. So I have a ring light, a big ring light that I love. But before I had a ring light, I used to just get the CFL bulbs, which are the daylight bulbs. And I used to, if you have like an IKEA lamp, those ones that bend and point towards you.
Yep.
So I used to use the day lamps and then just point them towards me. Same thing. It doesn't make any difference at all. So,
and the ring lights are so inexpensive these days. You can use natural light, but that gives you the flexibility because in her space, the fireplace
is dark.
Yeah. There's no windows in front because the windows would be to the side. So you do need to make sure people can see you if you're doing video.
Yeah, but it's really inexpensive. Yeah. And I didn't think about it. Like I said, I have a rolling cart. So
I take a picture of that sometime.
And I literally, I'm going to tell you the truth here, guys. I literally bought the rolling cart on Amazon because I used a bench, right? I was using a bench the first time, a stool. Yep. And then I was like, I'm too lazy to drag this stool. Isn't that awful? And they had a printer stand with wheels for like $10 or something.
But it works. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing, is just get started. Messy is better than done. Done is better than perfect. Sorry. Yeah. I like that. Start messy.
Yeah, just start messy.
It doesn't matter.
Micro, because like I said, those people that listen to me on a Sunday morning is not for everybody. And so it's just a small group, but, I'm targeting the people specifically that want to learn it, and the stuff that I do, it's my routine.
And I think what people get caught up on is they need to be able to now, if they're going to launch a show, they're going to do an episode and they have to commit for 10 years or 20 years. They look ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, just start. So do an episode, record a few, like Faye said. And there's actually some people out there that we're going to get into social media and how this relates to your social media and your content and all of that kind of stuff. But they're like, record 3 takes. Now, I don't believe in that. We don't have a script. We don't re-record. That's why we go live. So we can't go, wait a minute, let's say that again.
Sometimes scripts don't work so well, because if you're not good at making a script sound like it's not a script, like if you're not like in an actor mode, even like, for example, you guys have seen all those things like Big View and that have the teleprompters right on the screen. They're all great. But if you're just reading it, it's not going to make, you might as well forget it and just do it.
And you may not like it. Yeah. That's the other piece, is you may not like recording long form content, right? There's obviously the trend in social media right now is about short form content. So, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15-second clips about information you get in, you get out. And I think that's where podcasting video is just really taking off in a different direction, because people are going to listen to, how long are we haven't even talked about your other show yet, but how long are the Sunday mornings?
Between 20 and 40.
Right. So again, you can't accomplish that. It's a different type of content.
Yeah.
And that's why I think podcasting is changing so much, and it is even taking off more. So the shorter our social media attention span is getting, the more popular podcasting and video is becoming. So you're finding that on YouTube, that you're going to watch for, a half an hour ish.
Yeah.
You go to a podcast, you're going to listen to the whole thing. Whereas on your social media, you're just scrolling, and you need to catch that attention. You need to get your message across in that 15-second span. You don't need to do it over here. So the content is great. And then we can move it into a social media. We can actually bring those clips into social media. But first, what's your other show?
So the other one is called Spark. It's Sunday Spark. And so what I did was, let me preface it. Sunday morning, we start with a different theme every week. So it might be fear or anxiety or burnout, and we focus on that theme and everything falls through. So with Spark, I decided that I wanted to do the same thing, but I wanted to target a different group. So when I'm speaking about fear, I want to speak about fear, but I want to target entrepreneurs and corporate that are only really interested in a very short segment of that with strategies. They don't want to breathe. They don't want to meditate. They don't want to do any of that stuff. They just want to get basic information. So I actually use the same kind of information in both. So Sunday morning is just more of a routine, and then Sunday Spark is just really quick little tidbits and strategies and tactics. And they're very different audiences because Spark is really pushing out towards LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And Sunday morning is pushing out towards YouTube.
Well, and I think that's a really interesting thing for people to understand, because they think I need a show.
Right.
And it's always good to start with one. She's had many before, right? So she can do the two at once.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. And you're talking about the same topic. So
exactly. So if you are sitting there going, well, I need one show, but I need it to be, geared towards corporate, entrepreneurs, small business, personal development, whatever, people listening, and you want to try to get all of those groups, you don't have to. And she's proof of that you can take the same concept, you can take the same information and the same subject matter and gear it towards one group, and then a separate one that gears it towards other group, because people are searching differently for that show. So, and sometimes it gets muddled. It gets muddled when you start talking about all kinds of different topics on your show, because you're like, well, is that topic going to be good for me? Is that topic not going to be good for me? What's the case? So I really love the fact that one show is very specifically targeted one way, and the other show is very specifically targeted the other way, which is really cool. So, and then of course we take, then we take it and we chop it up. So this is where the concept or the combination of video and podcasting come in, right? So again, you record the video one time. That's it. She goes live or records the Spark, and we're done. So now we take that and use it in a multitude of different ways. It's once a week. Well, one show, twice.
One show. One show of each.
One show each, once a week. But the recording's done, so that's on YouTube. That lives, and people can search for it there. We take the audio and we put it into a traditional podcasting platform. So that's an audio experience that people can go and listen to whenever they want. And then, of course, we have it translated into social media. So again, taking those clips and putting them out on social media as this quick tip or this quick piece of information, so that you can either just listen to that one piece, or you can now know what the episode is going to be about, and you can now go listen to the entire thing. So I really like the fact that it makes everything cohesive, and that you can just do one small recording. Like you said, what's Spark? How long would that one be?
It's like 15 minutes.
Right. So one 15-minute episode once a week can translate into a week's worth of content. You've got content for video, you've got content for audio. And it's just really, I think it's just really important in regards to building trust.
Well, I will say, and when I said start messy, we haven't fully done all the clips that we are planning. I have not even promoted at all the YouTube or the podcast or anything. What I've done is I've written a newsletter version, and that's the other piece.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I take the exact same thing, for example, that I do in Spark, exactly what I've said on the podcast, and I take that and then I write a newsletter in LinkedIn. So, and then I also send it out to my newsletter subscribers. Yeah. So that information, the exact same information, goes out all that. Sunday morning, same thing. I don't write a newsletter in LinkedIn. I just write a newsletter out of Mastermind City. It's Mastermind City, or it's the other way around. Sorry. And so it goes out. Sorry, the other way around. So it goes out, and it's the same information again that I've done within those two podcasts, for lack of a better word. And so what happens then is Everything is the same information. So as I go forward, I'm going to start shortly in the next probably 2 weeks. I'm going to start doing some posts about what the actual episode is about and some more clips. But again, you don't have to start with everything, guns a-blazing, ready to go. Not there yet. I had too many other obligations. I wanted to start it because it fit within a program we were doing. But I also recognize that there's no possible way that I can get all the way to Bright in the first month. Exactly. So it's fine. So if that's what's holding you back, don't worry about it.
And I think the other piece, again, is understanding that people like to receive content and receive information in a multitude of different ways. And that's what I love in today's world, because it was literally before it was, okay, am I going to record for social media? I'm going to record this video for YouTube. Now I'm going to do an audio version for podcasting. It's all in one now. You only have to record once and you can use it in a multitude of different ways. And there's still people that like to read. Mm-hmm. Apparently.
That's why I do the
newsletter. So you can get it in written format. You can read the article on LinkedIn. You can follow the newsletter, right? And you can get it into your inbox. You're getting the information in the right way. That's right for you, I guess I should say. Now, for me, I like to watch the video. I like to see. I know a lot of people who like to listen. And I think podcasting it's like a video podcast or an audio podcast. It's just a podcast now, right? Both video and audio formats. But I think the advantage is that, again, you just have to record, just record information. But if you don't like that, I know I have one person it's very interesting that when they record an audio, they're fine. It's all good. But as soon as they record a video, their entire demeanor changes, their entire voice changes, and the way that they talk completely changes. So if that's not right for you and you don't like that whole concept of being on video, that's okay. Do the audio recording. You can still use AI to pull in clips, and you can have a faceless video. So it doesn't mean that you can't have a video if you just want to do audio. If you don't want to be that talking head and you don't want to be in front of that camera, that's okay. You can do it in a different way. But if you're open to being on camera, I just think it's a better route to go.
Well, I just think you need to get over it. It's really, nobody's judging you or looking at what you look like or anything. If your information is good, it's really irrelevant what you look like. Right?
Very true. Very true.
So it's just, we don't worry about it. We just, whenever camera's there, it's there. It doesn't matter. I don't treat it any differently. So when I'm doing, for example, Sunday morning, it doesn't matter if there's a camera there or there's a class of 30 people in front of me. It's exactly the same delivery. So I don't worry about it so much. So if you overthink it, you'll never do anything. You'll never.
And I think that's why I love the Start Messy. Even if you're just recording it for yourself, pretend you're recording, hear your voice. I think a lot of people will, and I know that we've talked about this before about reading scripts, and they'll read it in their head, or they'll go over what they want to say in their head, and then they go to speak it, and it doesn't come out in the same way. So speak it, say it out loud, record, practice, all of that kind of stuff, and you'll become a little bit more natural on video. So the third thing is that we want to talk about today, because we talked about why podcasting matters in 2025, which is basically about building that trust. Because again, you're building your authority because people are listening to you longer, right? Because again, that short form video, that short form, basically noise that you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you have the ability with podcasting and video to deliver that deeper message, right?
And I think I want to just make sure that everyone understands that you can use, if you're still not 100% sure what you're doing and whether it's right, you could think about it as it's a catalyst. Your voice is a catalyst, or it's a way to think about it as a portal. Yeah. And what happens then is it is a way for them to access everything else that you do, right? So it's a portal. And here's the thing, which we always talk about when we're talking about speaking, but I think it's really important here, that your story, and everyone has a story, right? Yeah. Your story can be someone else's survival guide.
Yes.
Right? It can be something that sparks somebody to be able to go ahead and live a better life or find something that makes sense. Think about everything you watch on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, and you watch somebody's story, they tell you and you learn something and then you use it. Well, you can do the same for other people. So always think about, your story is someone else's survival guide.
Absolutely. And if you are caught behind the tech and you don't think you have the right setup, I just want you to think about the printer cart.
Yeah. And the mic from Amazon for $14.
Exactly.
Canadian.
So, yeah, which is like nothing anywhere else in the world. So think about that. You don't have to get caught up in making sure you have the best tech. Podcasting is going to be the place that people are spending more of their time, either on video or audio. And I know the next piece that a lot of people get stuck on is the post-production. Mm-hmm. So the post-production, well, where do I put it? How do I do it? How do I get my intro up there? What are show notes? What does that look like? Now, where do you pull your show notes? So again, we work together. She records, she sends it to me, and I make sure that it gets out to all of the different places. So I'm her producer. I'm
just the talking monkey. I don't produce, and I'm happy that way. So I would say that it is well worth it if that's still intimidating. It is well worth it because the money you spend on hiring a producer to do it, to just load it up and send it out, is well worth it because it will take you about 20 times as long, and you will hate it, and then you won't do it anymore. So exactly. It is worth it. So you really should, if you really want to get out there, you need to think about it.
And that's the problem. If you can just literally have a spot in your house or have a spot somewhere where you can just hop behind the mic and record and send it off, it will make it so much easier for you. You will get it done because you're like, oh, I have a message. Oh, I just want to hop on the mic. Oh, I have this idea of what I want to say. I have this inspiration. You'll go and do it. If you're going to get held back because you're not sure how to do it, the editing is making you angry. We don't expect everyone to be tech geeks like me, right? That's why I love doing it. I love being a podcast producer. I love listening to her clip or her podcast or episodes and stuff like that and bringing them over. I love doing all that. When I get the message going, it's done, it's ready, that brings me joy because then I get to step in and I get to have that fun. So I do enjoy that part. I enjoy uploading it. I enjoy editing it. I enjoy putting it together. I enjoy even the audio. I like challenges, right? The first episode, we couldn't really hear her voice as much. Yeah. So I needed to figure out how to make that work.
And I didn't really care. I just said, can you fix this, please?
And that's the advantage. And then we can talk about what does that show look like? What do those clips look like? All of that kind of stuff in regards to the show. So stay tuned. We have 2 more shows that we're going to be launching soon. So we're going to have a few things out there. And I think the reason why we're going to be doing that is because there's different topics and there's different people that are going to be listening to those different types of shows. So we have 2 more that we're going to be launching soon. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
So thank you so much for joining us today. We have links down below in regards to if you want to get started with podcasting, you can go for that. If you want to figure out how to kind of take your video and chop it all up, we have that. And I'll also put links to our 2 podcasts that are out.
And this Sunday one you're watching too right now?
Yes, we have this as a podcast. So we have this one.
So we'll have 5.
Yeah, that's right. So the 2 new ones, just a reminder, the Sunday Morning Club. So you can go search for that, but the link is below. And the Sunday Spark. All right. So remember to keep creating and keep speaking your truth and make sure that people know they want to hear your voice.